Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make greens using your pressure cooker, and we're not going to put any water in this, and of course no meat. So let me show you what I do first. First I'm going to start it with saute, and remember that this larger one, you don't just push the button and it comes on. You have to push saute, you have to make sure keep warm is off, and you push start. And I'm not going to put it for any time because I'm going to be just working with the saute, okay? So I'm going to put some olive oil inside of here. I'm just going to cover the pan with the olive oil. You have the directions, the exact measurements in your guide. Okay, celery, mixed peppers, onions, garlic. I'm going to saute that around. I'm going to add some salt because what the salt is going to do is draw the liquid out of the vegetables. And what we want to do is allow these vegetables to make their own liquid. Okay, so that's pink Himalayan salt. I'm also going to go ahead and add some red pepper flakes. Sometimes to this recipe I will add jalapeno, but this time I'm going to use red pepper flakes if you want that little bit of kick. If you want no kick at all, just use regular black pepper. You don't have to use much, much pepper. It's all about what you like. I'm also going to add just a little bit of liquid smoke, and this is optional. So if you're used to having a little smoked meat inside of your greens, and you haven't gone with just all vegetable greens, this liquid smoke is going to give you that smokiness that's going to taste good. So I'm just going to put a couple drops. You don't use too much of this. I'm going to tell you honestly, I don't normally use this at all. I'm doing this for people who are used to smoked meats. I haven't had smoked meats in my greens in 30 years, so I don't need the smokiness. But I like to do it for people who like that smokiness, and it just makes them feel that it's more familiar. But not too much because you can overpower. That was granulated garlic, and I'm also doing some mushroom seasoning here. I'm just going to put the rest of the granulated garlic in right now. Now we're starting to get our little sizzle going. And this is the part I love. So I got these greens already made. You could, tussle with the greens in the sink if you want, de-stem them and all of that, chiffonade them so that they're nice and soft. But hey, I'm doing the quick thing, right? Because I want to get dinner on the table. So we have the stems inside of these collards, and that's okay because stems are nutritious. As long as it's not too many. I got these out of the bag. I did wash them. Sometimes if it says it's triple wash, I won't even wash it. I'm just throwing right in because I trust what they say. And you have to give me feedback if you feel like that's, you don't like that. Let me know. Because sometimes I'm not sure how I feel about it. So we're just going to mix these around. I'm going to add some more salt because that salt is going to draw out the liquid out of the greens. And these greens have lots of their own liquid. Between all the vegetables and the greens, it's going to create a massive amount of liquid. And so you will not need to add any juice at all. So you're going to get that concentrated nutrients, concentrated flavor. And that's what's going to make your greens taste super yummy without adding any water, broth, or anything like that. You're just going to use their own natural juices. So as you can see, it's starting to get a little glistening there. And so I add them in slowly so that we give it time to make its own juice. And I just keep twisting around, and with every layer, I add a little bit of salt. Not too much because it can turn out to be too salty if you just forget what you're doing and just start adding too much salt. But you have the exact ingredients in your recipe card. But I do encourage you to taste as you go because everyone doesn't have the same amount of saltiness that they like. And all salts are not created equal. So the Himalayan pink salt is actually a lot saltier. Let's see what it's saying here. I heard a little beep. Oh, it's just saying that it's orange. Okay, that's cool. Himalayan pink salt is actually a little saltier than like an iodinized salt. So taste as you go to make sure you're getting the right amount of saltiness. I'm gonna add some more greens inside of here. And this whole process is literally gonna take 15 minutes at pressure. Not very long at all. You can have nice, yummy greens for your family. And they're so nutritious with so much vitamin A, and you know, greens are antioxidants, so you definitely want to get greens in your life. Sometimes we feel like, oh, I don't have time to make the greens, it takes forever, but this is using an instant pot for your greens. A pressure cooker will make that process so much easier, so much quicker. You get all your nutrients. It doesn't release any of the nutrients through steam. And you can have it on your table so that you can have greens a lot more often. And for this one, I'm using my big Instant Pot. If you didn't notice, this is a full bag that you find in the supermarket. So you kind of need a big one here, or you use less greens. And there we go, that's the last bit. I hear it making its noise, making that moisture that I need. I'm gonna add one more layer of salt. Take a little bit to turn it. Now, if you can see in the bottom here, I actually have, my moisture is starting to form there in the bottom. You see that? You see I'm getting a little liquid there? That's what you want. You want to start getting that liquid in there. And then when you have enough of that, you can actually go ahead and close the lid. And it will make its own moisture from there. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on, turn it off, cancel, and then I'm going to put it on pressure cook. I want to take it up to 15 minutes. Take it off and keep warm, put it on start, and there you go. Our little pin will rise up when it reaches pressure. And we'll come back in 15 minutes so you can see these yummy greens. So I am quick releasing my greens, and I don't have any splatter here. So because it's no starch inside, so it's just all juice. So you're not getting any of the, like when you would do a potato, or if you did a pasta, you might have some of the starch, but this is just all juice. So it's just nothing but steam. So I can quick release it just fine. Okay, once my pin drops down, and it just did, now we're ready to get our greens. And I have to remember, put it down this way. And we're gonna go ahead and pull out our greens. You see I have lots of flavor in these greens, lots of juice, and they're ready to serve. Once it got up to pressure, 15 minutes in the pressure cooker. Look at that. Beautiful. You see all those veggies in there? Oh. So yummy. Ready to go. So that's your greens. Absolutely no meat. Absolutely no water.